Chickens, seriously. Where would we be without them? These clucky legends have gifted us some of the most iconic meals ever. Sure, they're not exactly winning IQ contests. Draw a line in front of one, and it'll just stare at it like it's solving quantum physics. And yes, there was that headless chicken named Mike who kept strutting for months post-decapitation. But let's be real, who needs brains when you taste this good deep-fried? With nearly 24 billion chickens around the world, it's no surprise that a few are unique and downright bizarre. From featherless flappers to heartbreakers in high heels, these are 15 chicken breeds you won't believe are real. Number 15. Araucana. The Araucana isn't just a chicken. It's an Easter egg machine in feathery disguise. Hailing from Chile, this quirky bird stands out for one seriously rare trait. It lays bright blue or green eggs like it's prepping for a permanent spring festival. The breed traces its roots back to the Mapuche people in the Araucania region, and their feathered friends have been genetically wired to produce these oddly colored eggs for generations. Some Araucanas are even rumpless. Yep, no tail at all, and many have peculiar tufts of feathers sprouting near their ears, giving them an awkwardly endearing look. The breed came to the UK thanks to a shipwreck off the Hebrides in the 1930s, and from that chaotic event, British breeders managed to establish a distinct local line. Araucanas now come in both standard and bantam sizes and have scattered across the globe, coloring breakfast tables in the US, Australia, and beyond. Their egg game may be strong, but it's their weird looks that steal the show. We mean, have you ever seen an egg like this? Number 14. Giant Brahma. Despite being dubbed the all-American chicken, the giant Brahma is about as American as fortune cookies, originally bred from birds imported from China. But that didn't stop it from becoming the king of meat production in the US from the 1850s to the early 1930s. These hulking birds were so massive and majestic that they were practically poultry royalty. With their feathered legs and calm demeanor, they looked like chickens wearing fuzzy bell-bottoms. At one point, the breed had over a dozen confusing names until a group of poultry judges met in Boston in 1852 and decided on Brahmaputra after the river. Thankfully, that got shortened to Brahma because we've all got things to do. Recognized in light, dark, and buff varieties, the Brahma remains a showstopper in backyard flocks today. Though no longer the go-to for industrial meat, it's still admired for its looks, size, and surprisingly gentle nature. Think linebacker physique with librarian manners, and a side of 19th century Boston sass. Number 13. Malaysian Serama. The Malaysian Serama is less chicken and more pocket-sized royalty. We mean, just look at it. This bantam breed may be the tiniest in the world, but don't let that fool you. What they lack in size, they make up for in pure charisma. A full-grown Serama often weighs less than a can of soda, yet walks around like it owns the yard. Originating in Kelantan, Malaysia, in the 1950s, the Serama was the result of mixing Japanese and local bantam breeds. Malaysians call them Ayam Cemani, meaning pretty chicken, and they really do live up to the title. Their upright posture, tight feathers, and exaggerated chest puffs give them the air of a miniature general inspecting the troops. They were even named after Thai royalty, tying their lineage to ancient Southeast Asian lore. Nearly wiped out during the bird flu culls in the early 2000s, they bounced back with flair and are now strutting around in the US and Europe. They are small but never overlooked. Number 12. Naked neck. There's something unsettling about a chicken with a bare red neck dangling like it borrowed it from a turkey, but that's the naked neck for you. Also known as the turkin, this bird comes from Transylvania because of course it does. Its Dracula vibes are undeniable. That bald, fleshy neck gives it the eerie look of a bird that wandered out of a crypt and just started laying eggs. People once thought it was some twisted turkey-chicken hybrid, but no, it's 100% chicken. Surprisingly, it's not some sideshow act. This breed thrives in hot climates thanks to its lack of fluff, and is easier to pluck, which makes it popular in regions where utility trumps beauty. Despite its weird appearance, the naked neck is a solid egg layer and a decent meat bird. It's not going to win any pageants, but it's the kind of chicken that's too practical to care what you think. Still, maybe don't look it directly in the eyes after dark. Alright guys, now let's talk about number 11. Modern game chicken. The modern game chicken is the supermodel of the poultry world, tall, elegant and bred purely to be admired, not eaten. Born in 19th century Britain after cockfighting was outlawed, this breed was the fancy solution to a brutal pastime. Instead of sharpening their spurs, breeders turned to grooming their birds for beauty contests. These chickens were designed to capture the fierce spirit of fighters while looking like walking sculptures. Slim bodies, long legs, tight feathers, and a dramatic stance like they're ready to throw shade on a runway. Though they still resemble old fighting breeds, modern game birds are surprisingly tame and friendly. They don't lay many eggs, and they're not raised for meat. Their sole job, well, looks stunning. They're also surprisingly fragile. Those long legs aren't made for rough farm life. But for poultry enthusiasts and show breeders, these birds are living art. And unlike their bloody ancestors, these guys win ribbons instead of battles just by being too good-looking to ignore. Number 10. Featherless chicken. Featherless chickens are exactly what they sound like. And no, they weren't summoned from a post-apocalyptic nightmare, though it looks that way. Bred in Israel around 2 decades ago, these birds were designed with one goal: industrial efficiency. Normal broiler chickens already live life in the fast lane. Their turbocharged heart rates make them grow bigger, faster, and hungrier, which means more meat in less time. But that also makes them prone to overheating and heart failure. So, someone had the bright idea: what if we just skip the feathers altogether? Less fluff, more airflow. Sounds logical until you see one. They look like the unfinished sketch of a chicken that accidentally got printed in 3D. Worse, they struggle to mate because male chickens rely on their plumage to attract partners. Without feathers, they've got zero game. The developers insist they're safe to eat and taste normal, but when your dinner looks like a raw horror movie prop, it's hard to get past the visuals. Will you eat that chicken? Number 9. Onagadori. The Onagadori is a living, breathing royalty in feathered form. Originating in 17th century Japan, this bird is famous for its jaw-dropping tail feathers that can stretch over 30 feet long if properly cared for. No, that's not a typo. That's an entire apartment's worth of tail. Japanese breeders in Kyushu Prefecture painstakingly raised and pampered these birds for centuries, and in 1952 the Onagadori was declared a national treasure. But maintaining one isn't for the casual chicken keeper. Their tail feathers never molt, meaning they just keep growing, so owners must build custom perches to keep the feathers clean and off the ground. There are a few color varieties, but the original was black-breasted, with later versions developed through careful crossbreeding. These birds aren't bred for eggs or meat. They're bred for legacy. Think of them like living bonsai trees, tended to for beauty, not utility. If you want one, be prepared to care for it like a high-maintenance runway model. And yes, it's worth every single effort and penny you spend. Number 8. Crèvecœur. The Crèvecœur chicken doesn't just come with a heartbreakingly romantic name, it wears its whole dramatic past like a feathered cloak. Straight out of Normandy, France, this breed was named after the tiny village of Crèvecœur en Auge, which translates to broken heart. And fittingly, it's a breed with a flair for drama. With its jet-black plumage and wild crest, the Crèvecœur struts around like it's been cast in a Gothic fairy tale. It's one of France's oldest breeds, likely brought in by the Normans after they swapped Viking raids for land deals in the 10th century. These birds were once so prized that they made their way into English coops during the 19th century, but faded into obscurity as trends shifted. Blame industrial farming or people's short attention spans, but Crèvecœur's numbers dwindled. Now, with a wave of nostalgic admiration for ancient breeds and maybe a little help from TV's Viking fever, this melancholic little showstopper is back on the radar. Dark, mysterious, and totally unforgettable. Number 7. Silkie Bantam. Touch a Silkie once, and you'll question everything you thought you knew about chicks. These little puffballs feel more like rabbits or Angora sweaters than birds. With their silky, fur-like plumage and sweet disposition, they've earned the nickname poodles of the chicken world. But don't let the softness fool you. Silkies have a serious history. They trace their lineage back to Southeast Asia, and Marco Polo himself wrote about fuzzy chickens with black skin during his travels in the 1200s. Today, silkies come in a rainbow of colors, both recognized and not: black, buff, blue, splash, partridge, lavender, porcelain, even something called kaku, which honestly sounds like a Pokemon. Their feathers lack the barbicels that hold regular feathers together, giving them that fluff ball look. They don't fly, they're calm as monks, and they're perfectly content being held like living plush toys. Sure, they're not top-tier egg layers, but you don't get a silkie for performance. You get one because life is better with a living cloud waddling around your yard. Number 6. Vorwerk. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. And yes, it is. But it's also a chicken. Only in Germany would a bird share a name with a household appliance and still manage to carry itself with undeniable style. The Vorwerk chicken, bred by Oskar Vorwerk in the early 1900s, is a rare golden gem of a bird. With deep amber feathers edged in black, it looks like it was dipped in gold and outlined in ink. Dual purpose and dependable, it was designed to be both beautiful and productive, laying eggs and offering quality meat without making a fuss. And while most chickens don't have a global fan base, this breed's unexpected namesake sparked interest decades later, when an American man named William Vorwerk stumbled upon it and decided it needed a place in the US too. Whether the name came from the man or the machine is still up for debate, but this chicken's legacy lives on. Sleek, elegant, and weirdly satisfying, just like a clean floor. Number 5. Blue-laced red Wyandotte. If chickens had fashion weeks, the blue-laced red Wyandotte would be front row in every show. This American beauty is equal parts utility and style icon, raised for both eggs and meat. But it's the outfit that steals the spotlight. Its name nods to the Wyandotte people, an Araucanian-speaking nation. Though these birds weren't raised by Native Americans, they were named in tribute. The blue-laced red variant is still unofficial in the eyes of the American Poultry Association, but among backyard chicken fans, it might as well be royalty. Their feathers are a hypnotic blend, a rusty red base veiled in cool, stormy blue lacing. It's like someone painted every single feather by hand. But here's the kicker. They're not just pretty. These birds are hardy, calm, and reliable layers, making them perfect for small farms and hobbyists. They thrive in cold climates, mind their business, and lay year-round. Basically, they're the total package: beauty, brains, and breakfast. What do you say? Alright guys, now let's head over to number 4, Appenzeller. Switzerland isn't just home to chocolate and clocks, it's got chickens with feather bonnets too. Meet the Appenzeller, a native of the Appenzell region that comes in 2 flavors: the Spitzhauben, with a ridiculous yet stylish feather crest, and the Barthener, which sports a full-on beard instead. These birds are small, clocking in at just over 3 pounds, but they pack a surprising amount of charm. They're excellent climbers, prefer sleeping in trees, and have a free-spirited attitude that makes them more like tiny forest acrobats than coop dwellers. The Spitzhauben means pointed bonnet in Swiss German, fitting for the feathered headgear these birds flaunt like Victorian ladies at a garden party. Appenzellers lay small but consistent eggs, around 5 a week, and they're known to be tough little survivalists. Rare outside of Switzerland, they found modest popularity in North America, especially the silver-spangled version. If you want a chicken that acts like a bird of prey but looks like it came from a Renaissance fair, this is the one. Number 3. Polish. Well, despite the name, the Polish chicken is about as Polish as a Dutch pancake, just like the giant Brahma. These extravagant, feathery headliners hail from the Netherlands, and nobody really knows why they were ever named after Poland. What we do know, they look phenomenal. Their wild feather crests erupt from their heads like a feathery explosion, equal parts glam rock and medieval battle helmet. They can barely see past their bangs, but what they lack in visibility, they make up for in attitude. Paintings from the Dutch Golden Age often feature Polish chickens, suggesting they were fashionable long before modern poultry shows. Theories about their origin stretch from Mongol invasions to Mediterranean trade routes, but wherever they came from, they brought flair with them. They're not prolific egg layers, but that's fine. These birds are here to be admired. Every flock needs one over-the-top showboat, and the Polish chicken is happy to oblige. Call it vain, call it fabulous. Either way, it's unforgettable. Number 2. Ayam Cemani. The Ayam Cemani doesn't just walk on the dark side, it was born there. This Indonesian breed is black through and through. Not dark brown, not charcoal. We're talking about jet black feathers, black skin, black bones, black meat, and even black organs. The only part that breaks the all-black rule is its tongue, and even that sometimes comes in gray. What causes this vampiric color scheme? A rare genetic mutation called fibromelanosis, which causes extreme pigmentation across every inch of the bird's body. The result? A chicken that looks like it belongs in a heavy metal album cover. Despite their ominous look, Cemani chickens are perfectly edible if you can afford them. Prices reach up to $2,500 each, and in parts of Southeast Asia, they're believed to bring good luck or spiritual power. Their eggs are a modest pale cream, making their hatchlings feel like they've emerged from some surreal horror flick. Exotic, mysterious, and absurdly expensive, the Ayam Cemani is poultry's answer to a cult icon. Number 1. Dong Tao. The Dong Tao chicken looks like it skipped leg day, then hit it twice as hard the next morning. Hailing from Vietnam, this beast of a bird is also known as the dragon chicken, and one glance at those tree trunk legs makes it obvious why. Its legs are so thick they resemble human wrists, and that's not an exaggeration. These aren't just aesthetics either. Dong Tao meat is a rare delicacy served at upscale tables and ceremonial feasts. A single pair can cost upwards of $2,000. But raising them is no joke. They're divas with attitude and biology to match. Their massive legs make mating and egg-laying awkward, requiring hands-on help from breeders. Even incubating eggs gets complicated. Those jumbo drumsticks crush nests if you're not careful. You won't find these birds casually clucking around the neighborhood farm. They're rare, pampered, and high maintenance. But ask anyone who's tasted the meat. Worth every awkward, oversized step. Well, that's it for today. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to smack that like and share button and subscribe to our channel for more awesome and amazing content like this. Thanks for tuning in with us, and we'll see you very soon in the next